The community center boardroom was silent. Rows of homeowners sat in rigid anticipation, the tension so thick it could be cut with a knife. The soft hum of the fluorescent lights overhead cast a sterile glow over the long, polished conference table. At the head of the room, HOA President Nathan Whitmore leaned back in his leather chair, tapping his gavel against the desk with a smirk. A man in his late 50s with salt and pepper hair and sharp, calculating eyes. Nathan had built his neighborhood empire on dominance and intimidation. To him, this was just another routine monthly meeting, another resident to fine, another neighbor to dismiss. What he didn't realize was that today would be different. Today, the woman sitting across from him wasn't just another homeowner, and today would be the day his arrogance cost him everything. At the other end of the table, Olivia Grant sat calmly, her hands folded neatly in front of her. Dressed in a sleek professional suit, her hair in a tight bun, she exuded an air of quiet confidence, but Nathan didn't bother to notice. To him, she was just the woman from House 42 who had dared to question his aesthetic improvement fees. He glanced at the folder in front of him, his fingers grazing the foreclosure notice he had prepared. He hadn't even heard her speak yet, but he had already made up his mind. This would be easy. He let out a small chuckle, shaking his head. "Miss Grant, I assume you know why you're here," he said smoothly, loud enough for everyone in the gallery to hear. A few board members exchanged uneasy glances. The HOA legal advisor, a man with wire-rimmed glasses, pursed his lips but remained silent. Olivia didn't flinch. She met Nathan's gaze head-on. "I do. But I'd rather we focus on why you think I'm here," she said, her voice even and steady. Nathan's smirk faltered for the briefest second. He didn't like how she carried herself, too poised, too unshaken. Most residents in her position stammered or pleaded for more time to pay their fines, but she sat there like she owned the room. He cleared his throat. "Miss Grant, let's not waste everyone's time. Your property has been under review for multiple architectural inconsistencies, and quite frankly, we found some irregularities in your recent filings. More shifting in seats." Olivia tilted her head slightly, waiting. Nathan exhaled dramatically. "Unpaid dues, unauthorized landscaping, and a series of missed assessments, none of which I take lightly. None of which actually exist," Olivia interrupted, her tone crisp. Nathan chuckled. "Let's not play games, Olivia. The board has made its decision. Effective immediately, a lien has been placed on your property, and your membership is Nathan," she cut in, her voice like steel wrapped in velvet. His name, spoken so directly, made the room go still. She reached into her bag. The legal advisor stiffened. Nathan's smirk returned. "I wouldn't do that," he said with a mock warning in his tone. "Anything you present now won't change a thing. The bylaws are very clear." Olivia ignored him. She pulled out a thick folder bound with official state seals. Then, she slid it across the table. It glided over the polished wood and stopped right in front of him. Nathan didn't move. "Go on," she urged, her expression unreadable. "Read it." Hesitation flickered across his face before he finally picked it up. He flipped open the first page and froze. The blood drained from his face. Inside was a detailed, indisputable audit. Bank transactions, secret ledger entries, and a web of HOA fund diversions carefully laid out, complete with timestamps and signatures. And at the center of it all was Nathan Whitmore himself, using neighborhood dues to fund his private vacation home. The other board members leaned forward, eyes widening as they read over his shoulder. Nathan swallowed hard. This is fabricated," he sputtered, though his hands were visibly shaken. Olivia leaned back, watching him. "Is it because it had been sent to the state attorney general and the Department of Real Estate Oversight? While you were busy manufacturing reasons to seize my house, I was compiling evidence. The real fraud here isn't my landscaping, Nathan, it's your bank account." Nathan's jaw clenched. "You have no idea what you're getting yourself into." Olivia smiled. "Oh, I think I do. I've spent years watching men like you take what doesn't belong to them, thinking no one will ever hold them accountable. But today, you made the mistake of underestimating who exactly moved into House 42. Silence engulfed the room. One of the senior board members, a man who had been Nathan's ally for years, finally spoke. "Nathan," he said quietly, "we need to talk. Privately." Now another board member pushed back his chair and looked at Olivia with newfound respect. "Miss Grant, would you be willing to stay behind? We may need an interim president who actually understands the law." Olivia stood, smoothing her blazer. Of course, as she gathered her things, she paused at the door, turning back to look directly at Nathan. He was slumped in his chair, the seat of power suddenly looking very small. "Next time," she said, her voice carrying through the silent room, "think before you assume someone is powerless." With that, she walked out, leaving behind a man whose empire of paper and ego had finally collapsed. Subscribe for more videos to Best with B12.